Welcome to the Auburn Medical Group YouTube live stream, the entertaining medical live stream where viewers can ask real-time questions of real medical doctors. And here are our hosts, Dr. Mark Vaughn and Dr. Gwen Vaughn.
Just a little bit early, the Auburn Medical Group live stream, talking about medical topics, and hopefully we'll be able to have some fun too. That's the priority. So we can talk about any topic. I'm looking at the chat, and already we do have people using the chat. We have Bianca saying hi from Great Britain. So hello, Bianca. We're glad to have you be a part of the show. And we certainly always have kind of the emerging infectious disease update, so we can touch a little bit on that. But a lot of those are the same infections we've been talking about, and not especially brand new information as far as a category information. It's just kind of more of the same. Yep. Okay, and then we also have Lexi Merritt, who we've also seen already in the past. Lexi, hi, and Kathy Joe also greeting us. We're glad to have you all be a part of the program. So, the recent report on emerging infectious disease was that
more
measles, over 500 cases involving 8 or 9 states. Mostly limited to a single community. The cases in some of the more outlying states like California seem to be coming in from actually other countries rather than from North Texas or New Mexico or Oklahoma. That's kind of the epicenter of the domestic outbreak, I guess you'd call it. And they can actually genotype these different infections, and that's how they know.
Let's see where it came from.
No, this is not from the same place. This is not from that particular outbreak. So for California, we're actually getting it from outside of the United States. We also have Bianca greeting us with any tips on old stubborn woman to drink more fluids. My mom is driving me crazy.
Mom.
You can lead a mom to water.
You can lead a mom to water.
Yeah, that's right.
But you can't make her drink. I think that's how the saying goes.
Something about your mom and water. So I'll say this. When it comes to elderly people and nutrition and hydration both, I recommend providing and making freely available as much as they will voluntarily take. It's fine to encourage, to help keep people hydrated and keep good nutrition. There is something that can happen with some older people, and I'm not saying that's what's going on with your mom or not, but there is true senescence that occurs, a seizing of the life process where they do not have any desire for drinking fluids or for eating food, or it slows down over time. And forcing it on them is not a kindness, even though it does keep up their hydration, keep up their nutrition. You'd think that would give them more. Well, it does, gives them more of the resources they need to sustain life, but it's also not pleasant for them to take it in, and it doesn't really buy you that much more when their body's in that state. Not to be confused with, say, somebody who's just simply depressed, and that's why they don't have an appetite. And you want to get food into them, but hard to tell what
you kind
the
of
individual situation is without being there, and
which may be worth checking with their doctor and saying,
So I don't encourage using those appetite stimulating medicines like Negase. I'm not a fan of that situation. But oftentimes it's kind of ultimately not getting you the result you're trying to get if they're going down that path of not having the appetite. The anorexia or loss of appetite is a symptom of something, and although it does make their nutritional status worse, and that makes it harder for them to fight a disease that they could get to the other side of. Usually talking about a situation.
More of a chronic thing,
And of course, tube feedings and IV hydration, well, that can just draw out a situation for quite a while that maybe that's not a pleasant existence for the patient. So being sensitive to what they want and talking to them about, hey, do you prefer not to stretch this out longer?
Yeah.
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 So Bianca also says she's low on potassium, won't drink, and her eating is hardly anything. Oh, hold on. Oh, it's up here. Eating is hardly anything. We had my stepdad's funeral. Oh, man. I had to call an ambulance. Oh, my goodness. Now she's in the hospital. I'm so
she's
sorry,
probably getting
Bianca.
IV fluids in the hospital.
Yeah. So anybody who doesn't regularly watch this show, Bianca is like one of our main people that's a part of our show.
We get updates every once in a while about how things are going. And
a lot of people are going through this, so-called sandwich generation. Your kids are having kids and they've got things going on. But then the other direction, you've got taking care of your own parents, and you're stuck in the middle with people having needs at both directions.
Right. Yeah, you're a caretaker for those younger and older.
Yeah. So, I'm sorry about that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah, well, there we go. Oh, Kathy Joe. Okay. So what I see is going on here is there's stuff going on in the chat that's not going on in the show. So there's separate things. So Kathy Joe, you're welcome to be on the show too. Kathy Joe's responding with okay. Bianca's also there. What else was I saying about we'd covered the measles update. Influenza actually finally is kind of tapering off. We actually had the biggest influenza outbreak since 2017 this year. In case you didn't know, this was a banner year.
It was. It felt like it.
Yeah.
Especially in February. It was.
Finally, it's trailing off.
Impressive.
So that's good. And then COVID, the last big spike of COVID was all the way back in August.
It's been a while.
It's just barely coming up a little bit right here in the last 3 weeks.
Yeah.
From this really, really low baseline. And we see like a positive COVID a month or something along those lines. Maybe not even that much in our own office testing. And then Hilda Bauer points out RSV is another one. RSV is finally going away.
I think we're getting out of the winter months here.
That hit some people really, really hard this year. About the same time that influenza going, and we did have some really early RSV, really early.
We did,
like well before the end of the year.
Yeah, we had I'm trying to think. I don't know when I last had a positive any of those RSV, flu, or COVID. It's been a while for me. I know our office saw one last week. Was it a flu or an RSV? One of those was diagnosed last week, I think. I forget which one though.
Yeah, but I thought we had one of each. Was it last week? Maybe it was the week before.
Could be true.
Yeah.
Could be. There are vaccines for those. Hey, what do you know?
What?
So the flu vaccine is seasonal. It's a seasonal vaccine. We're getting down to the end of it. It takes about 2 weeks for it to
do its thing,
really kick in. So, I mean, if you're going to be traveling in 2 weeks, if you're still going to be meeting up with a lot of people in 2 weeks and haven't gotten your flu vaccine, maybe a good idea to get that because it is still kind of circulating. RSV, even though it is a seasonal thing, has a vaccine that you can get at any time, and that's a one and done. It's for everyone over age 75.
60 years of age.
And down to age 60 if you have health conditions associated with that.
Yeah, so be on the lookout for your opportunity to get that if you haven't already.
And then COVID vaccines for those who are high risk, we're recommending
time
those.
to give them that second one.
Yeah, so it's
this current
recommended every 6 months. Comes out in the fall, so many of my patients who are high risk and got that back in the fall are not coming due for that 6-month booster.
Of the 24-25.
Yeah, it'll be the same one as last fall. A new updated one will be out in the fall.
And what about for those people who say, I had it?
I had.
So why
COVID?
Would I get it? Yeah.
So you do have immunity, a little immunity from that, but that wears off as well. They say about 3 months out, you should get the vaccine if you had COVID.
Yep. And then we'll probably have another new one out. Probably around September, I would guess.
Yeah, that's when it was last year.
Which is also the same time we get the flu vaccine. So
yeah.
Who knows? Maybe a combo? Just get them all taken care of.
Yeah,
with one?
They said that last time didn't happen, but maybe this year we'll see that.
Maybe. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Still looking for,
a case of tetanus. Did you see that in Bianca's? Was there a case of tetanus? I didn't hear about that.
Where's that?
right there, that there's been a case of tetanus.
I'm trying to remember where that was. Seems like I remember also hearing that had happened. You don't see that very often because tetanus shots are so widely
we get them
given. So tetanus vaccine, you typically want to get it once every 10 years. But if you've had it within 10 years, but you get some kind of a tetanus-prone wound, and we'll go over that in a moment, then you'd want to have it within 5 years. So get your booster early if it's been more than 5 years and you have one. So what is a tetanus-prone wound?
Anything that breaks the skin.
Anything that breaks the skin. So a puncture wound, a dirty wound, eye injury, a burn. Those are all tetanus-prone wounds.
If there's bleeding, then you should get a tetanus shot and get your tetanus
What about I had an operation? Should I get a tetanus shot?
Oh, yeah, those are done sterilely, but those do not
something
qualify.
you can get dirt in or stuff from the environment. And of course, the classic is, yes, indeed, the rusty nail.
No rusty nail that you step on. I think about once every 5 years, I get the actual rusty nail. People come in and step on.
Here's the comment that might be of interest to Dr. Gawain. Why are cruise ships so bad for sickness? Specifically, norovirus is just gangbusters.
Oh, good old norovirus.
Cruise ships.
Yeah, norovirus is
this year
GI illness because they're very contagious, and you're locked in a enclosed place where you're going to be seeing a lot of people and passing things on, and it's touch. So somebody touched that handle before you went in. Somebody
handle
touched
on
that. I was going to say like the anything. But are you talking about like
the one-arm
slot machine?
Slot machine.
I guess that
video game control.
The elevator, whatever it is.
Button.
One person does that, and then and norovirus is extremely contagious, so it is gonna get you.
Anybody about to buy tickets for a cruise, please watch the movie Triangle of Sadness.
I bought mine 6 months ago.
Anybody else watch Triangle of Sadness? Oh my goodness!
I haven't seen
awesome.
that one.
Oh man, there's no unseeing that once you've watched
Triangle of Sadness.
Yeah.
Oh geez, I'll watch it after I go on my cruise.
I'm trying to remember who's on it. Woody Harrelson is the captain. But, oh my goodness! Yeah, their norovirus scene.
Oh my gosh!
It goes on and on and it is awesome. It is so well done and so awful.
So awful.
So Bianca writes,
geez.
An unvaccinated 6-year-old boy in the U.S. had no immunizations, sustained a forehead laceration, and was cleaned and sutured at home.
Wait, 6 days sutured that far out? So we actually don't recommend stitching something up that far out.
The recommendations used to be that you never did anything more than 24 hours.
Yeah.
And then some studies came out and suggested, that's a long time. So here's the idea, that if you can irrigate the wound when it's fresh and close it, you probably have a pretty clean wound that doesn't have bacteria in it to cause an infection. Whereas if you wait longer than 24 hours, now there's a lot from the environment that can get inside. But like I said, they're saying go ahead, maybe have loose sutures so something can drain. That's a strategy
I've heard
that needs to be recommended.
Yeah. So if something,
I don't know if there's real evidence that this loose sutures does any better than just leaving it open, though. But the idea is if it's open, any infection can drain instead of being locked in, and that it's going to be worse for the body.
I'm trying to find. I don't. Was that recent? That 6-year-old boy? I had not heard of that case.
I also had heard something about this. Sutured at home. How about that?
Yeah, that's kind of interesting too. We know of a physician who was kind of not a vaxxer who actually lost his license because one of his patients got tetanus, and he had encouraged them not to.
He doesn't
vaccinate.
practice anymore. Yeah. Or he may have volunteered his license to his state. Well, it wasn't our state. This was another state.
Right.
Yeah. Lindsay.
That's the last case I've heard of. But
I can promise y'all, you don't want norovirus. Had it in December, and it was miserable.
Oh, man. It's so bad.
Times 10. Lindsay, watch Triangle of Sadness. You would appreciate that movie. Okay.
I was trying to Google it. The only thing that comes up is 2019.
Yeah.
I don't see the recent tetanus. But
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about Triangle of Sadness.
no.
It's a little more recent than 2019. Google it.
Google it.
X. Is X like a...
Exit.
Is that like a period that you mean it? Google it. Let me Google that for you.
Stamp that.
So often people will ask me a question and my answer is, let me Google that for you.
I'm going to Google that for you.
Pull out the phone.
Yeah, that's a
Let me get
great
an answer
question.
for you. Should we let people know about our wading into open evidence?
Oh, sure.
Actually, since they give it to us for free, maybe we kind of owe that to them to throw it out there to
Sure. Yeah.
audience land.
Maybe a little background first. Yeah. So there, we don't know everything. There's the so there are things that we need to look up daily. We need to look up things that we want to make sure there is evidence to back up and to support in making clinical decisions, and sometimes some direction for a more complex case. So we, in the past, there's this great service called Up to Date, which is kind of an aggregation of evidence and sometimes expert recommendations of different types of illnesses, medical problems, and sometimes a little hard to navigate trying to figure out what to do.
And expensive.
So
it's human doctors that are editing this thing.
Right. Yeah. So they need to be paid for their but we are now in a new age, an age of AI, where AI can do a lot of that aggregation and pulling the data and looking at research articles from reputable journals and making recommendations based on that. So Open Evidence is the name of one of these. Well, I don't know if there's one of these. That's the one we know about. There may be others. ChatGPT and those others probably utilize.
You might be able to get something
but
also from those, but they don't limit their source to, is it 95 journals that have been selected?
Peer-reviewed journals
journals that we trust.
That we trust, which is important.
When something's published in them, we feel a little better than some, I'll tell you the
random
truth.
Journal.
Yeah, if I haven't said this recently, there are journals that will publish anything that's submitted to them, and they sound like, they got a name that, I'm sorry, I don't know any names off the top of my head. Dermatology Letters of Southern Placer County. It sounds like it's a real journal that somebody may have gone through a peer review process to get published in. And it's just simply a matter of them saying, $2,000 will publish your article, and you'll be able to say it was published in our journal.
Yeah.
Well, we want them from these. Is it 95? I don't have it in front of me, but Open Evidence has a certain number of journals. They say, this is our cutoff. These are the ones that we're trusting for the data. And even then, bad stuff can get published in those too.
It can make its way through.
But you feel a little better with AI reading those journals than just reading the entire internet where it can get anything. Hopefully hallucinations are limited.
Hopefully.
For those of you who don't know, AI hallucinates and
Yeah.
writes stuff that's completely untrue. And I think it's just simply that it's picking up what somebody wrote that didn't know what they're talking about, and it information out on the web, because that's where ChatGPT
and hopefully that would be minimized if you're getting things from these journals. Hopefully, but anyways, Google is my doctor.
Yeah,
I didn't see that.
There you go. So Open Evidence, it's free for physicians.
ChatGPT could be your doctor.
And there you go. And actually,
respond.
I did like ChatGPT better.
Me too.
Than, Google's when we tried them against each other.
Asking,
Google has a new version of theirs, so maybe it's better. Haven't tried it for medical stuff lately, but I've been really pleased with Open Evidence.
Me too. Yeah, I've used it on.
It gives you the reference. You know where it got the information that it's referring to when it gives you an answer to a very specific medical question.
Yeah, I've been trying to get very specific. Like I've been writing about, all the different past medical history my patient may have, like taking that into account and other things. And it's actually said, okay, with that, you may want to consider this, which is
Did we have a question today that we could run through it just for?
Oh, wouldn't that be great?
Let's okay.
What do you want to ask?
Bianca's saying, she's talking to Lindsay about something in December. Google for medical is like Facebook for true news. Okay.
That's maybe inaccurate.
I think
there are reputable sites out there.
I don't know if I'll get in too much trouble for, maybe we'll call it, Laura Barzyk, haven't seen you for a while. Had 2 cases of tuberculosis.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes, tuberculosis is around.
In Chicago.
It almost went away, and then it made a comeback. And so I'm going to pull up open evidence, and if it'll let me log in with my credentials. And if you guys have a question for me, I'll go ahead. Here.
You have a question right
there. We go. I can just...
An example. Is that your question?
That's my last question on it.
Oh, okay.
So we could just simply... open the browser there.
That's hard to read.
I do. Yeah, I apologize for the size of the print. Was it Shift plus?
Control plus.
Control plus. Yeah, there.
Oh, look at that.
So you can see that I was working obviously with a patient with secondary hyperparathyroidism of renal origin, meaning the kidneys caused it. That it's not primarily from the parathyroid glands causing it. And so it's talking about the treatment with phosphate binders and vitamin D receptor activators and calcimimetics and dietary management. And of course, for the patients on dialysis, that's what you use. And you can always do parathyroidectomy, but you can't go backwards on that. So
yeah.
You can't stop that treatment. Once you've done that one, that's it. So
yeah, it's been happy with it.
Yeah, kind of fun there. So the reason I throw it out there for our audience is that you can get a paid subscription to it. Physicians don't have to, but non-physicians can also access the same information. Boy, I should get an affiliate link for doing this. So there you go. Now you know
you can use it for free.
The AI we're currently checking out, and we're still using with caution because we just found it.
AI making its way more and more into medicine.
If it did ask you who sent you, say us, but we don't have any connection, no relationship with them.
Yeah.
Very good. So we will not be here next week. I apologize.
Right.
Got things coming up, wedding and
Right.
Let's see. This week we got Ledge Day, where the doctors go and lobby
that's right.
the legislature.
This month.
Yeah. So lots of stuff. But thank you for your comments and questions. We will be back after that to do our regular Monday 4:30. I say regular, but man, we've missed a bunch right here lately in a row. So I apologize for that. But we if we're here, we're doing it. If we're both here, we're doing the show. You know that. Bianca. It's Easter and Bank Holiday Monday for us next week. Oh, okay.
Bank Holiday Monday.
Enjoy.
That's how you celebrate Easter, with Monday off? Why don't we do that?
There you go.
That sounds brilliant.
So enjoy
There's
that
only banks.
because we won't be here. So go ahead and make plans because I know you otherwise would not.
Wait, so
but for her, it's like middle of the night.
I was just going to say, Easter's not next week.
I didn't think so.
Isn't it 2 weeks away? Yeah, it's the 20th.
What about Orthodox Easter? That's a different.
That may be right.
I think it always comes later.
Not this year. This year it's kind of weird.
Good, and they have Good Friday off too. Okay, well there you go.
Wow.
And
that's a really long weekend.
Congratulations.
It's like Thanksgiving, but for Easter.
It's like Thanksgiving,
it's a 4-day weekend.
Until next time,
I'm not going by.
Dr. Mark Vaughn telling all of you to stay in good health.
Doctors, thank you for another informative session. Auburn Medical Group is located in Auburn, California, USA. Thank you for participating. Please tell a friend and join us again next week.